Hello and welcome to TalkFCB, and welcome back here to the channel, guys, to the Champions League, the semi-finals, the key game between Barcelona and Liverpool. It starts right here. The build-up, all of the talk. I'm starting it early because, quite frankly, this is all we can think about. Both teams coming into this game, they want it more than anything else. It's a fierce, fierce game on paper, on the pitch. It is going to be electric. It's going to be incredibly intense, and it has to be said, either team, whichever team wants to come out on top, they're going to have to be at the top of their game. They're going to have to get their tactics right, and individually, each player out there on the pitch, they've got to be perfect. They have to be flawless. And in this video, we are going to be discussing the key battles out there on the pitch, 1 versus 1, face to face, head to head, those individual players who can make the difference for both teams, but who will come out on top. That is what we're discussing today. We are getting right into it. Come on! Let's do this. So I'm going to be giving you 6 key battles in total, guys, to go away with today from this video, and just thinking what's going to happen next Wednesday when we take to the field in the first leg, and also in the second leg. How are these battles going to take shape on the field? And these are just a personal preference. This is just basically the ones that I'm excited about seeing, the ones that I think are really going to be match defining, and obviously big players from both teams coming up against each other, and how it's all going to end up. That big crescendo. It has to end in our favour. We have to go there. We have to win this game. And to do that, we're going to have to beat here a very good side. And we're better to begin than with the 2 goalkeepers at the base of both teams. It has to be said, the way that both teams play, this is where it all starts. Playing out the back, certainly both goalkeepers are very good with their feet. Alisson up against Ter Stegen on the night. And I have to say, starting with Alisson, who of course knocked Barcelona out of the Champions League last season with Roma, then went on to the next round of the semi-finals, faced Liverpool themselves, who knocked him out of the Champions League, but he then went on to join them in that summer for 72 million euros. And obviously it was expensive for a goalkeeper. Obviously it was a lot of money, as we're going to say exactly the same for Virgil van Dijk. But for Liverpool, it was money well spent, and he certainly enjoyed a very good debut season on Merseyside. And that's thanks to some very big saves this season in some big moments. He's good with his feet, like I say, and let's face it, compared to Liverpool's previous goalkeepers in recent years, it hasn't really been great, is it? The likes of Mignolet, Lloris, Karius, he was always going to be, coming into this Liverpool team, a significant upgrade, and he's a very good goalkeeper. But for me, on the night, coming up against Liverpool here, Marc-Andre Ter Stegen starts in goal for Barcelona, and for me, he comes into this game as the superior goalkeeper, winner of this competition back in 2015, and even since that tournament, even since that season, year upon year, he's improved. Every single year, Ter Stegen gets better and better, more of a leader, more dominating from the back, and certainly here, you're looking at somebody who's so well-rounded. He can do everything. He can play out with the ball, he's good enough to play in midfield with his feet, but also, he's an incredible shot stopper. He'll come out, he'll claim crosses, he is what you want between your sticks, and I'm so confident. Every time we go out onto the pitch, you know that if our defence does get breached, you still have to get past Marc-Andre Ter Stegen, and I think it's going to be really interesting to see these 2 keepers, like in the last round we had Ter Stegen against De Gea, here you've got Alisson against Ter Stegen. It's going to be fascinating, and it is going to be a very intriguing contest to see who comes out on top. But for me right now, Marc-Andre Ter Stegen, he is at the very top of the goalkeeper game. Up next for me is all about fullbacks. I'm going to go here with Jordi Alba as in our left back and Trent Alexander-Arnold as in Liverpool's right back. Now, you may have been expecting to see something like Jordi Alba against Mohamed Salah. Of course, that's going to be a very intriguing battle, or even perhaps Ousmane Dembele against Alexander-Arnold. But here, I'm going fullback against fullback, and the distinct reason for that is both teams really rely on those fullbacks for width and for attacking presence. Both of these teams like to attack with their fullbacks and really make inroads in those wide areas. And I think Alexander-Arnold is somebody, a young player, who's come into the Liverpool team this season, and he's been growing now, season upon season. Klopp has made him into a fantastic, well-rounded fullback, and I think it's going to be a really intriguing battle down that left-hand side. We all know that so much of our play goes through Jordi Alba down that left-hand side, not only his runs, not only his energy, but also his link-up with Lionel Messi, and I think it's going to be fascinating to see, number 1, how Alexander-Arnold in that first leg can deal with that threat of Jordi Alba, but also, number 2, we are, of course, going to have to watch Liverpool on the counter-attack. The transitions they make are very swift, very rapid. We're going to have to watch them going the other way. With Salah, with Alexander-Arnold, Jordi Alba is really going to have to be on the top of his game, but much like Ter Stegen, this season he has been outstanding. Going forward, his goal contributions, going forward, his energy, getting in behind, he makes phenomenal runs. Messi will find him time and time again, and if you can get him in space, he can cause you massive problems no matter who you're up against. So I think they're a massive battle. The fullbacks, key for both teams, and that one should be fascinating. fascinating. The third battle for me would once again be in the wider areas, and I'm going to go here with Semedo or Roberto, whichever right back starts the game for FC Barcelona, up against Sadio Mane. And the reason for that is Sadio Mane, for me, is Liverpool's biggest threat in that front three. A lot of people will talk about Mohamed Salah. Femina, of course, I'm going to come on to him in just a moment, but I'm going to say Mane here is the man who can score those crucial goals in the big moments. He does deliver, and this season he has got some massive goals for Liverpool Football Club, 22 goals in all competitions this season, and he's a big threat. His pace in behind, but not only that, I watched him on Sunday against Cardiff live, and it was very interesting to watch his movement. He's somebody who likes to drop in. He's not always going to want to be involved, but he will happily come deep and then quickly go in behind. He's somebody who can change pace very quickly, and that's why I think in this game perhaps we will go with Semedo at right back, simply to deal with that kind of pace. Like against United, you've got Rashford, you've got Martial. We tried to deal with that through Semedo, but at the same time, Sergio Roberto is a very good right back. He's got a good understanding of the game, and whichever player comes up against Mane, they are going to have to work very hard, not only to stop him, but also you bring then Robertson also into the equation, and that left-hand side, just like the right one, it's going to be fascinating to see how it goes down. And now we do come on to Roberto Firmino, and this isn't technically a head-to-head battle, but it is one that I'm so fascinated to see in terms of the positional play of both players. Suarez against Firmino, the current Liverpool number 9 in Firmino against the old number 9 of Liverpool, Luis Suarez. And for me, many ways, Suarez and Firmino are very similar players, and not only similar players, but also very similar roles they have right now in their team, and this particular battle is going to be very interesting. Suarez will need to raise his game in the Champions League. Questions have been asked of him, and quite often in these situations, he will step up and answer those questions, and he needs to, because Firmino is a massive player for Liverpool. He'll drop in, he'll help out in the build-up, he'll be unselfish, he can certainly work very hard for the team. He's also going to be very key in terms of Liverpool's pressing of our back four and stopping our build-up. That's really important with the gegenpressing that Klopp likes to adopt. But also when you look at Suarez, it's his job as well to bring in Messi into the game, to bring Dembele into the game, to hold the ball up like he needed to do it better against Manchester United. And I think it's going to be very interesting to see which player does come out and have the better game on the night, because they can affect so much, not only in terms of scoring goals, but like I say, bringing those other players into the game, really creating their opportunities for those around them. It's about working hard, it's about being selfless. Both of those players can do that. On form, Suarez for me is the better player, but we have to see that form from Suarez. We have to see him step up in this moment, take this chance, send away the doubters, send away those demons in his mind, and deliver in the Champions League for it to really be a success for Barca. And I know for a fact, guys, that you would have been waiting for the next battle with a lot of intrigue, and it's certainly going to be a massive one on the night. Lionel Messi, the best player in the world, against Virgil van Dijk, who's arguably been the best player in the Premier League this season, without question, certainly, without any question of doubt, the best defender in the Premier League, and I would say up there with Gerard Piqué this season, with the best defender in the world on form. This is going to be a fascinating aspect to take a look at over the course of the two legs, because Van Dijk has been outstanding, not only this season, but also since he came into Liverpool. He has completely transformed the defence of their team, not only individually in terms of his own defensive play, but also he improves the defenders around him. He leads that team. He's somebody who can orchestrate that defence, and he was the player really that Liverpool have been crying out for now for many years. And it is going to be massive for Messi on the night. It is going to be a big challenge here against Van Dijk. But you know Messi, he rises to these challenges. Never scored against Liverpool. He's played them, he's faced them, he hasn't scored against them. He will want to change that. You know in Messi's mind, he comes into this game and he wants to come alive. He wants to show everybody that he can do it, but not only for them, not only for everybody watching, but he wants to do it for that Barcelona badge. He told us at the start of this season, I will bring the Champions League home. We are going for the treble. Here we are. We're in April. We're going into the semi-finals. The treble is still on the table. And Messi fully intends on delivering that. Van Dijk, a wonderful defender, impressed in the Premier League this season. He stopped the likes of Bayern. He stopped Porto in his wake, coming to this stage. But stopping Lionel Messi, stopping Barcelona, is an entirely different proposition to anything that he will have faced before. And I think certainly here, Lionel Messi raising that game, providing that cutting edge from between the lines, moving into the area, goal-scoring opportunities, whether it's creating or scoring, he will make the difference again. He can come out on top. There's no doubt about that. And finally, arguably the most important battle of all won't even be done on the pitch directly. It's Ernesto Valverde against Jurgen Klopp, and this will be, at absolutely fascinating to see the styles of both coaches, how they adapt, how they plan towards the opposition, how they plan to counter what each other's going to do. It is going to be so enthralling to watch, because you look at Jurgen Klopp, high energy, high intensity, high pressing, every single thing about their game is really intense. They're going to go about this game like it's the last game they're ever going to play. They are going to go for it. They're going to throw the kitchen sink at Barcelona, make no mistake about that. But with Valverde, it's very intriguing, simply because Liverpool here coming into this game, they're almost going to have to second guess our approach, certainly in the second leg at Anfield, because Valverde is not really drawn to one particular style. Throughout the season, it can be frustrating when we not play the total football that we wanted to see, but in games like this, Valverde can use that to his advantage, because at the same time, we can play high intensity football, we can play high energy, we can press high too, but at the same time, we can also adapt our game to be more conservative. We can sit off, we can be a bit deeper, we can play on the counter-attack, we can almost confuse Liverpool in that way and lull them there into a false sense of security. And I think that's going to be a massive thing here. What is Ernesto Valverde going to do in the first leg? How is he going to approach the game? Is he going to go for Liverpool? Is he going to sit off? I think at home, we have to go for it. We've got to try and play attacking. But at Anfield, we might see some Valverde tactics here, which actually could come in very handy and might leave Jurgen Klopp guessing. And that's what we're going to see here. Two managers who've enjoyed a great season, who are on the cusp here of something very special. They are going to have to be at the top of their tactical game to get the victory here. And so that there, guys, is my thoughts on the really key aspects of this game against Liverpool, and it is going to be an absolutely massive occasion, and this is why this is the first of many videos to come in the build-up to this. There is so much to discuss. I'm going to try and leave no stone unturned. We are going to be looking at Liverpool, we're going to be looking at Barcelona, we're going to be looking at the tactics, everything you need to know. It's going to be coming up. I live for these games. I cannot wait. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Thank you, as always, for watching and for your incredible support. I'll be back shortly with more videos. But until next time, as always, Visca El Barça.